Kia ora, and welcome to the SheBikes Roxburgh Gorge briefing. Today you will be riding one of the hidden treasures of central Otago as you journey through an area that is not accessible by road. To maximise your enjoyment and keep you safe, please listen up for a couple of minutes. The Rox Gorge as we know it, because Roxburgh is one of those words that's really hard to get your mouth around, ducks, dives, twists, turns, and requires a cycle jet transfer in the middle. For your safety and enjoyment, we ask that you take note of the following. Always wear your helmet. Head injuries can last a lifetime. Ideally, don't wear a cap under your helmet as it can change the fit of your helmet. Ride with control. That means controlling your speed, especially on declines or near other cyclists. Brake early for corners and change gears early for climbs. When braking on steeper downhills, try not to grab too much front brake. A nice way to remind yourself of this is to have one finger on the right brake lever, your front brake, and two fingers on the left brake lever, your rear brake. Be aware of blind corners and keep left when entering them. Use your bell when coming up behind other cyclists to let them know you are there and probably passing. Carry a first aid kit with basic supplies and some pain relief. One of your group should have a cell phone with a New Zealand SIM card in it. Get them to ride as Tail End Charlie if that's the only phone you have. Give them the first aid kit too. Reception in the gorge is patchy, so you generally need to ride back towards the start or forwards towards the end to get coverage. Hopefully this will change for the One Network. Everyone should carry a shell layer in case of sudden changes in the weather. Carry more water than you think you'd usually drink, as well as snack food, as there are no refreshment options in the gorge. Refill your water bottles at each opportunity before you enter. Make use of sunscreen and reapply it during your ride. You'll find a toilet near the doctor's, Point Jetty, and again at the Shingle Creek Jetty. These are long drop toilets with no paper or running water. Carry some paper or wipes and hand sanitizer. At the end of the trail at Lake Roxburgh, Hydro, the public toilets are currently closed. If you are overheating, pour water onto your head and neck. Seek shade and cool down. Get more water from the lake if you can. Install the What 3 Words app on your phone using our QR code sheet. This helps with knowing where you are or letting emergency services know your location. The trail is ridden in both directions. Clyde to Lake Roxburgh Hydro is the primary direction of travel as the trail falls in that direction. Most importantly, ride in the correct direction when you exit Alexandra, so you don't end up back in Clyde if you rode the rail trail through to Alex. To do this, keep the water on your left shoulder as you continue under the Alexandra Bridge and down the gorge. Make sure you arrive in time for your cycle jet transfer and your return transport when you reach the end of the trail. We'll talk more about that in a moment. Emergency. If you have a medical emergency on the trail that you cannot ride out from, call New Zealand Emergency Services by dialing 111. Make use of the What 3 Words app to provide your location. Between Alexandra and Doctor's Point, head back towards Alexandra or hail the cycle jet boat if you can see them. Between Shingle Creek and Lake Roxburgh Hydro, get to the road at the high point of the trail and hail a passing car to help get a message out, or continue to Lake Roxburgh Hydro for reception. Call a second in an emergency. Avoid accidents by riding with control. Within your capabilities, punctures. If that word sent a shiver down your spine, or you have no idea how to fix one, then you need to use our puncture repair QR code and watch the video. Even if you know how to, we'd suggest you still watch it, as it's critical with e-bike punctures to get the tyre off the bead on both sides and continually squeeze it into to the centre when putting it back on. If that sounded like East Elbonian, then watch the video. You must be self-sufficient for puncture repair, as we cannot come out to assist you. As Grandad George always said, prevention is better than cure. So the easiest way to avoid a puncture is to not ride over debris on the trail. Briar branches are the biggest puncture culprit, as they border the trails and have thumbtack-like thorns on them. If you do get a puncture, then make sure you figure out where on the tyre it happened, and remove whatever caused it so you don't immediately get a puncture again. Mechanical. Mechanical issues can be difficult to deal with on the Roxburgh Gorge Trail, because once you go past the Alexandra, we cannot get to you. We work hard so that doesn't happen. However, sometimes things just break, or you might run into or over something. If you notice something is not right as you cycle through towards Alexandra, call us so we can put a solution in place. That way you can have morning tea in Alexandra, as drive down to sort it out for you. We have staff available 8:30 to 5 p.m. Be prepared with your booked itinerary name, the name of the rider with the issue, and the code from the front of their bike. In many cases, we can sort issues over the phone. Broken chains are the biggest issue on the Rox Gorge, but happen rarely. Chains break when you change gears late during a climb while putting maximum load on the chain. To prevent this, change into lower gears early for climbs. We provide a chain braking kit with instructions for all hire bikes. It's simple to fix, but prevention is better than cure. Change gears early. E-bikes. If you're riding one of our bikes with Shimano batteries mounted on the outside of the frame, then it is critical that you power the bike on without your feet on the pedals. Repeat after me, power the bike on with my feet off the pedals. The bike weighs the cranks on startup and will emit 3 beeps and show a W013 error if you have your hoof on there. To fix this, turn it off and turn it on again. Without your feet on the pedals, e-bike battery management is the rider's responsibility. All our e-bike batteries are less than 20% through their lifetime. They are manufactured by Shimano, an industry leader. All adult e-bikes have 630 watt-hour batteries and are larger than those provided by many of our competitors. From our testing, we've found that the batteries have more than twice as much capacity as is required to ride the Roxburgh Gorge Trail when ridden in a normal manner. Adverse environmental conditions like strong headwinds or rain softening the trail will impact on range depending on how bad they are. Factor this in when selecting your assistance level. Getting the most out of your e-bike. To get the most out of your e-bike, follow these simple rules. Keep your pedaling speed at or above 60 revolutions per minute. This puts your e-bike in the efficiency sweet spot where you get the best battery use for power output. You do this by using the gears on your bike to maintain a cadence of 60 revolutions per minute or greater. Use eco when eco is enough. Use other rider assistance levels for inclines or when environmental conditions call for it. Higher equipment damage. General wear and tear is expected. If you have a fall, take care of yourself first, but please let us know about any damage on your return. If we need to repair or replace anything, then it is at your cost as per the terms and conditions of hire. Please don't do skids on your bikes. Flat-spotted tyres mean we must replace the tyre and are easily spotted by the mechanics when servicing your bike after the ride. Now for the really important bits, cycle jet transfer. It's important that you arrive in time for your boat transfer. Your itinerary is structured so that you'll have around 3 hours to get to the boat, covering a maximum distance of 25 kilometres, depending on whether you ride the river track or the rail trail through to Alexandra. The Alexandra Bridge to Doctors Point jetty section is 10 kilometres long on a hard-packed trail that follows the gorge, gradually descending alongside the river. It's easy riding with one challenging section at the Narrows, where you'll need to dismount and walk your bike down switchbacks. At 10 kilometres per hour, that's an hour's riding. We suggest that you note your start time today and your arrival time in Alexandra so you can work out what your average pace is. You can also keep an eye on your bike's trip computer to get an idea of average speed when pedaling comfortably. That will help you determine whether you're stopping in Alexandra for refreshments and for how long, or if you're bypassing Alexandra and heading for the boat. If you miss the boat, then it's forfeit unfortunately. Refer to your itinerary for more information about what the options are in this case. Return transport. The second section of the trail from Shingle Creek to Roxburgh Hydro is 13 kilometres long and more challenging than the first section. From Shingle Creek, it gradually climbs up close to the highway and then descends and levels. Just when you thought you were done, there are a series of short uphill switchbacks to the lookout over the hydro dam. Your transport departs from Lake Roxburgh Lodge. Please don't ride onto Roxburgh unless this has been previously arranged. The shuttle you're on often connects with another service and must keep to its timetable. Wrapping it all up, enjoy this amazing trail. Take a moment to think about what it was like to be a gold miner in this area in the 1800s, working through hot summers and freezing winters. There are many interesting features, spectacular views, and photo opportunities today. Have a great day out there. Ask any additional questions before you depart. If you love today and want to learn more about our other day and multi-day cycling adventures, just ask.